I'm here early today because that's the level of punctuality I aspire to. I'm ready to get abused by my bold Dutch manager. So I figured, hey, let's start the abuse early. Speaking of abuse, Fish says Polsat. What is Polsat? Is that a? I think that's a Polish TV channel. I think. Stefan says Sunderland can draw level with Liverpool on 39 points if they win 7-0. The funny thing about that is losing 7-0 is not outside the realms of possibility. I can see that happening, which is a bit depressing, to be honest with you. But I hope you're good. City 1, Fulham 0. Indeed. I think it's a Semenyo goal, I think. Which I don't mind because Semenyo's in my fantasy team. And I'm secretly supporting City to win the league if Liverpool cannot win it. Coco says, hi, how's it doing, Coco? Is that Breaking Bad in your picture? It possibly might be Breaking Bad. But I hope you are good. I hope you are not Breaking Bad. Reluctant Gamer says, hey, how are you? Did you win yesterday, Newcastle? I think you might have won yesterday. So that's a positive. Grace says, sup, nothing much, the usual. Not too tired today. Normally I complain, I'm so tired. The reason why I'm not so tired is because I had a whisper. You know, you always mention whispers. So I especially went out to the shop earlier and got one of those. So now I'm buzzing full of energy, which is probably not a good thing to do at 8:05, but that's life. Fish says, hey, how's it going, Fish? Hope you are well. Hope you are good. Yeah, I am early. Yeah. The thing is, 8:15. 8:15 is such a weird time to kind of start. And then I was ready at like 7:50, to be honest. And then I was thinking, okay, I can just sit here twiddling my thumbs, or I can just go live early. And then, to be honest, the plan was to just go live early and set some things up. But then everybody popped up saying, hey. And then I was like, oh, shit, I better make an appearance. So that's actually what happened. Grace said fire shirt. I think so, too. This is a weird one in the sense that I think most of the shirts, they look good in real life. And I don't think they look good in camera. But I think this one looks a lot better on camera than it does in real life. It's a weird one like that. Fish says, I look like Grumgar. I don't know who Grumgar is, but he sounds pretty cool. And you can probably spell my name if you remove a few of the letters. So it's not too far away. Mr. Default says, United, how are you? Hope you are good. Thank you for the donation. No worries. Happy to help. Yeah, early today. Yeah. I'm so ready to get abused by my bold Dutch manager. I've not taken that thing out. You know the thing that the tag is on. I was thinking something's poking me in my neck. That's what it was. But yeah, early today. Billy can't even watch the game. Don't have TNT. Probably a good thing. I am not particularly enthusiastic about this game. I can't lie. I've got a bad feeling about it. SB says, you look extra happy to watch Liverpool play today. I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. To be honest with you, I don't predict good things will happen. And I think additionally with Szoboszlai out, we are pretty screwed, to be honest. We won 2-1 against Tottenham. Yeah, Thomas Frank got sacked. It's one of those things that I expected it to happen, but you also don't expect it to happen. And then when it happens, you're kind of shocked, but you're also not kind of shocked. You know what I mean? It's one of those. Grace also had Whisper. Whisper is it's a good chocolate. It's a good chocolate. I had a Twix the other day, and it was like 90% biscuit. But the thing I like about Whisper is at least you're getting like a good amount of chocolate. Hot take. Spurs shouldn't be a top 6 team and should be Villa instead. Fair enough. I mean, Spurs are a bottom 6 team currently. Daffa is from Birmingham. Very nice. Whereabouts in Birmingham? I noticed that light in the background was Godzilla. Now it looks like Mario Kart. Yes, that's a screen. So that is actually a screen where I can. If you're ever bored, Google the words pixel screen. So what you see in the background, that's a screen, and I can put different designs on it. Like I could write reluctant gamer on it. I'll try that next time. We'll see if it works. This is a tough game to call. Unfortunately, I think we're probably losing. Why have things suddenly gone so dark? Did everything just go dark? What happened there? But let me see if I can fix this. Why is shit going so dark? What the F? That's weird. Am I just getting darker and darker, or am I like getting super dark or not? You'll have to tell me, because I feel like I'm getting progressively darker. I am getting progressively darker. Let me see. I don't know why that's doing that, but let me fix that. Yeah, why am I going so dark? Is it like, give me a second. Oh Jesus. Okay, now it's now it's turned off entirely. Give me a second. I don't know if you can still hear me. But give me a second. It's a dark sign of a bad game, it is. Oh, fixed it. Yeah. That was weird. I don't know what happened there. But I have resolved it. City 2, Fulham 0. Who scored the second goal? Fish says Google him and Grumgar, you look like him. I mean, since you asked, I'll give it a try. Dude, seriously, why do you always pick the ugliest things? Why do you always pick the ugliest things for me to look like? Honestly, this. I mean, to be honest, you're not too far off. Me waking up the morning after eating a pizza, maybe. That's probably the best I can do. But that's not one of your worst likenesses, to be honest. I think you've pretty much nailed that. It is, and it's purely because of fish. But the thing is, everything I show, this web browser I don't use for anything else. Partly because there's a risk I could Google something that I don't want to appear. And the second reason is because fish tells me to Google the most random shit. So this is the web browser that I show on the screen is a entirely separate web browser for that reason. They're just coming out now, which is positive. Frank sacked, De Zerbi to Spurs, could happen. If Spurs want a kind of league-winning manager who was successful in England, then there's a certain bold Dutchman who might fit the bill. Prediction. Ooh. I never want to predict my team to lose. And I don't think I've ever done that. But Joey's also saying score predictions. I'm gonna go for draw. I'm gonna go for draw. I'm gonna go for 1-1. I think Liverpool will score first. And then Sunderland to get an equalizer. I'd say 1-1. Mr. Defoe also predicts a draw. Blue Baron says if Liverpool lose, we'll slot goal. Probably not. Probably not is the vibe that I get. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you saw, but they did like a round table thing on the official Liverpool channel where it was Slot, it was Richard Hughes, who's the sporting director, and it was Billy Hogan, who's one of the executives, and they did like a round table 30-minute thing. I did not watch all of it because it was going to be boring as hell. But the mere fact that they put that out to me subconsciously insinuates that his job is safe. I don't agree with his job being safe, but I unfortunately feel like it's going to take something extreme to sack him. Unless you get to the end of the season and you miss out on Champions League. And unfortunately, that's what I feel like. Who will score? Ooh, I was trying to think about that earlier. I think it's going to be somebody weird who never scores. Not that I'm hating, but I think Gakpo might score today because he hasn't scored in a while. 3-0 City, damn. City are coming out firing. They do this every year in terms of they maybe don't have the fastest start. They maybe trip up a bit at the start, but then eventually they put this run together where they kind of absolutely batter everybody. And I think they're probably doing that again. Grace's finger is hurting. Damn, what happened? Have you been boxing? Have you been performing some sort of martial art? United played so bad yesterday. You played West Ham. I think that was the Sesko equalizer, 95th minute. So does that mean it's 3 wins and 1 draw, and therefore does that mean that guy has to start at 0 again? Because that is unfortunate. A reluctant game is also predicting a 1-1 draw. I'm with you at that. Whereas if it's at Anfield, yeah, Liverpool will probably win. I think additionally with Szoboszlai being out, there's probably very little energy in the team. What I do like, to be fair, is Endo is back in the team. My kind of feeling is that Endo is what has been missing from this team. I appreciate he's playing at right back, and that's probably not much use. That's not the best position to impact the game, but I like that Endo's back in the team 100%. Hopefully it's the Slot goodbye party. I want him gone as well, but unfortunately I don't get that impression. Robertson own goal, Jacker own goal. That would be funny. How's your team doing, Fish? How's your Polish team doing? Last we checked, you were second in the league. Coco says hello. How's it going, Coco? I was asking, is that Breaking Bad in your picture? I can't see because it's very small. But is that Jesse Pinkman and who's the other one? Walter White. City winning 3-0. Fulham are a good team and they can also beat a lot of teams. Who scored for City? So it's Semenyo and... You'll have to let me know who the others are. Is Charlotte a real person? I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure, to be honest. Maybe Charlotte can confirm. Are you a real person? With said emojis. We've had 4 in a row, so if we beat West Ham, right. So he's gone back down to 0. Makes sense. Yeah, how's it going, Coco? Are you a Liverpool fan, or are you a Sunderland fan, or are you a neutral? The one time I don't wear that damn green kit as well, Liverpool decide to wear it, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I think I'm pretty behind, so I'll try and refresh. Liverpool for life. I'm liking that. I'm liking the support. I'm liking the positivity. I mean, you're more positive than I am, so I'll take that. I think that's a positive. Robertson gives the ball away because he's a waste of space and waste of oxygen. But thankfully it's offside. Thankfully. cut my finger with scissors by accident. Damn, that's not nice. That's not nice. But I hope you make a swift recovery. Speaking of Swift, thoughts on Taylor Swift? Are you like Taylor Swift fan, or is Taylor Swift not cool now? You'll have to update me on what the general consensus is. Wayne Rooney came out today. I was thinking, damn, really? I hadn't pegged him for being in the closet, and said he hates him. As in he hates the United Strand guy. Why? I thought it was kind of relatively harmless and just a bit of fun. But let's set the oh god, timer. Where's the timer? So I'm on like 4 minutes 25, which is now gonna be 4 minutes 30. Semenyo, O'Reilly, and Haaland. Nice. I got Semenyo in my team, and I've also got Haaland in my team. So selfishly, I don't mind that too much. Carragher, Skirtle, or Agger? Daniel Agger, 100%. Martin Skirtle, I always thought was kind of overrated. Like, he looked better than he actually was. If that makes sense. Yeah. 3. Oh wow. It's only half time, isn't it? Yeah, City are going to do what they do every year. They're just going to put a mad run together. And they're going to be on Arsenal's heels constantly. And then Arsenal will trip up, and then, what are their names? And then City will win it. 100%. Grace likes Taylor Swift. Good to hear. I've actually been to see Taylor Swift before. In Wembley, I think. Which was many years back. Grace says, how's your day been? Not bad. Not too bad. Had work. Finished work. Went out. Got chocolate. And before I knew it, it was time for this. But it's a corner. It's a corner to Liverpool. Which is always nice. Leon says predictions for the game. I think it's going to be a draw, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be 1-1. I think Liverpool are going to score first, and I think for some weird reason, I think Gakpo is going to score. But yeah, I'd go for 1-1. How about you? Corner for Salah. Salah's actually decent at corners, you know. I mean, he puts in a shit corner there, but other times he's fairly decent. Stefan says it's Valentine's Day Saturday. Will you be my Valentine? I would, but Fish has asked me first. So unfortunately, I've already been booked for Valentine's Day. But there's there's always next year. Fish likes Alderweireld and Vertonghen. I hear that they like you as well, so that's good. That's always good to hear. I'm sending this in a few parts because TikTok doesn't give me another characters. Why is TikTok like so restrictive? What's that about? TikTok sometimes goes over the top. I did catch to 5k today and I was knackered. To do that pretty randomly, I mean that's pretty cool. Is that something you were training for, or you just did randomly? And like, what is that 5k as in 5 kilometers? So how many miles is that? Yeah, 1-1 for me too. With Liverpool scoring first, and then yeah. That's what I think will happen. I think Liverpool will come out firing. Partly because of what happened versus Man City, they're gonna want to not so much put things right, but try to put things right. So they're gonna come out firing, and then they're gonna get a goal, and and then after they get a goal, they're going to sit back and then they're going to concede a silly goal. I can 100% see that happening, unfortunately. Stefan thinks Charlotte is a bot. Charlotte is not disproving that, to be fair. Me and my girlfriend are going to a dance show of a group she really likes, and she thinks we have a far back seat. But I've secretly bought second row seats and meet and greet tickets. But I'm really bad at keeping secrets. It's so hard at keeping a secret. Oh, nice. That's it is hard. I've been in that position as well. It is hard to kind of keep a secret, but as it's one of those things where eventually it will be worth it 100%. But yeah, keeping the secret is definitely hard, especially when you know it's something she's gonna really enjoy. Grace was the only one in her class today, and we are learning to get healthier. So me and the two teachers ran 6 laps around the block with a mix of walking too. That is impressive. Have you done any training to get to that stage, or was it just random? But the fact that you completed it is pretty impressive. Zane thinks 2-0. Is that 2-0 to Liverpool, or is that 2-0 to Sunderland? I presume it's 2-0 to Liverpool. Liverpool have started with a high tempo, and Sunderland don't score many goals. They don't, but they are playing Liverpool, who shatter expectations both in a negative fashion and also in a positive fashion. I'd love a 2-0. I'd love it. I'd love a 2-0. I've just got a bad feeling Liverpool are going to come out firing, and then eventually when they score, they're going to sit back and then they're going to concede. But I hope you're right. I wouldn't even do a half lap around the block. Yeah, I'm decent at walking. I can walk a lot, but running I'm very, very bad at. How's it going, Isabel? Why does Gakpo seem to cut onto his right foot to cross it and shoot? That's his move. That's his one dance move. That's his that's the one thing he does. The thing is with that, it was not so much of a problem last year because you had the variability with Diaz, and sometimes you'd play Diaz, sometimes you'd play Gakpo, so it was hard for. Well, at the very least, it introduced more variability to defenders. But the problem we have now is defenders, number one, they know Gakpo is going to play on the left. And number two, they know he's going to cut inside and smash it over the bar. And the annoying thing is, other players have done this as well in the past. Like Coutinho used to do this. When Coutinho used to play on the left, he'd cut inside onto the right foot and smack it over. But with other players, they'd maybe do it a certain percentage of the time. Gakpo does that a good 95% of the time. So it is very annoying. It is extremely annoying. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Sunderland undefeated at home this season, and Liverpool are pants. Or as Isabel says, Liverpool are so effing negative. Indeed they are. And it's annoying it's annoying on both counts. Number one, it's not entertaining to watch, and number two, it doesn't get results. Sometimes if you have just one of those things, you can kind of live with it. So if it's at least entertaining but you don't get results, fair enough, you can kind of live with it. The flip side is, if it's not entertaining but at least you get results, you can still kind of live with that. But this combination is both not entertaining and doesn't get results. So I just do not see the positive to this. Stefan says, "Am I a chat bot too?" I don't think so, but I think you might be right about Charlotte. Kunik, how's it going? Hope you are good. Hope all is well with you. I've got asthma, so running isn't my strong point. Yeah, I guess maybe with the football, it's you get breaks from the running, and it's a bit more entertaining because you've got something to focus on, and so that makes the asthma less of a something that you have to focus on a bit less. Sean says we definitely should win. We definitely should win. It would be embarrassing not to. I agree. We should be winning this. If you see this fixture on paper, this is a fixture Liverpool should win. Unfortunately, I've got a bad feeling it's going to be a draw. But let's see. Grace says, no, just random. Lol, I'm... Oh, right. So you trained up on the treadmill. Fair enough. That is impressive. The amount you managed to run today. Are you now going to be exhausted for the next week? Or are you going to be fine by tomorrow? Fish says, "Poo, thank you very much. I hope you're describing Liverpool's play and not my shirt." I'm undecided on this shirt. I don't know if it's too much. It looks a bit like wallpaper. Like, it's nice, but it looks a bit like wallpaper. I don't know. I'm undecided on it. Grace played Call of Duty today and lost. I have not played Call of Duty today. No, I was playing a bit yesterday though. To be fair. Isabel says hello. Isabel's put 3 hellos in, which is more effort than Liverpool have put in all season. So I think we should get Isabel on the pitch, and then we'd easily win a few games. But yes, hope you are good. I don't have many. I've not really cooked anything exotic this week to report back on. I'll be honest, I ordered pizza yesterday because Grace was talking about pizza, so then I ordered pizza. So that's what I've been eating. Good defending by Robertson. I feel like the Liverpool board want to sack him, but aren't till the end of the season. I think yes. I think they will reevaluate at the end of the season. They don't strike me as a interim manager type of club, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong. They just don't strike me as the interim manager type of guys. They will let the season play out and then make a permanent decision then, and then see how that goes. Cameron says you'll never walk alone. Mr. Default says you'll always walk alone. You never went alone. Where? I've been loads of places alone. I'm going to Japan alone on Monday. That counts, surely. Mr. Default has switched. Fair enough. Tottenham says, you predicting Liverpool 2-1? Fair enough. I'd predict a draw, but I'd take a win. I keep getting bumped on Rocket League. What does that mean? Does that mean other cars bumping into you or what? Unknown says, can you rate my edits? You can do, yeah. What kind of edits? Is that Darwin Núñez? Is it like football edits? I can't see because it's like really small on my screen. But if you just leave a comment on any video, I'll then remember tomorrow to check out the edits. Hippier, Van Dijk or Konate? It's got to be Van Dijk, surely. It's got to be Van Dijk. I mean, the harder question is who would you put in second place? Hippier or Konate? And I think it'd probably be Hippier. Man United or Liverpool? I mean, that's not a tough choice. Stefan says, you're never alone, Uma. We're always with you. That's good to hear. That is good to hear. And it's good to know also. I was gonna say I hope Cody Gakpo is alone, but probably not. It's probably a bit harsh. Isabel made chicken satay wings. I also made a tuna sweet corn pasta bake and chicken korma and rice. Very nice. Have you got a favorite out of those? All of those look pretty good, to be fair. Mr. Default said, I've heard the party's better over here. I think that's probably the vertical one. I think Stefan's there and Charlotte. Throw into Sunderland, which I'm not keen on. Kanati dad died. Yeah, and Salah's granddad. Yeah, not a good week. That guy from Dawson's Creek died today. So it's not been a good week. Burnley 3, Palace 2. Palace seemed to be on a bit of a downward trajectory after Mark Gay left. And with Glasner leaving at the end of the season, they might have peaked last year. I keep trying to demo my car so I can't save the ball. It's those damn Rocket League players. They're not playing collaboratively. The chicken satay wings, Thai food just slaps. All peanut and spicy Thai food is pretty good. Can't lie. I've actually not had Thai food in a while. You might have inspired me to get Thai food very soon. Are you from whatever that is? Nope. We won't, thank God. Good to hear. Mr. Default says, hello world. Yes, Steven is a vertigo with Charlotte, who may be a chatbot. We are trying to get confirmation. Vert. Pretty close. Would you rather be a superhero or a wizard? Probably. Is there a difference? I'm not sure there's a difference. Spurs followed me. Appreciate that. Oh, I have a fan club. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. But it always pops up on my TikTok thing. There's this bunch of options on my TikTok thing, and I don't know what any of them are. It says multi-guest, live goal, poll. I guess poll is it makes sense. Treasure box, goodie bag. Oh, fan club. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know what it is, but it sounds pretty good. Jonathan is... Ooh, Gakpo. Ooh, a bit too slow. Yeah, Johnny was asking me to recommend him a phone to buy, and I was like, okay, how much do you want to spend on it? And he said £2, and I was like, mate, I can't recommend you a phone for £2. Spurs or United? I was gonna answer that, but then bad run. See, I'm a bit stuck here because your name is Spurs, but then bad run 11 is saying Glory Man United. So I feel like whichever one I pick, I'm gonna upset somebody. That is the difficulty here. Good tackle by Endo. I say good tackle. He's fouled the guy, but that's fine. I don't mind. I don't actually mind a bit of fouling here and there. At least Endo is showing a bit of energy and he's showing a bit of aggression. That's probably what this team has been missing. You've got what's his name? You've got what's his name? Gravenberch, not particularly aggressive. You've got McAllister, not particularly aggressive. You've got Wirtz, not particularly aggressive. So I don't mind Endo in this team. I appreciate he's at right back, but I'd like to see him in the middle. Liverpool or Man United? That's an easy choice, and it's not Man United. Been a while since I seen Endo play. Me too. I legitimately cannot remember the last time Endo was playing. But weirdly, I think Endo is kind of exactly what is needed here. Just a bit of aggression. Someone with a bit of aggression who will kind of win the ball back. Somebody with a bit of aggression who will... Also, crucially, what I like about Endo is he's going to sit back. He's going to sit back and protect the defense, which is what I like. The trouble with kind of Gravenberch, I love Gravenberch, but he tries to be a kind of attacking midfielder sometimes, which is kind of annoying. I just need him. I need somebody just to sit back and protect the defense, and Endo will do that. And again, I know he's playing right back today, but I just mean if he were to play midfield. Liverpool or Man City, that's got to be Liverpool. Yeah, multi-guest probably lets people join. I mean, that would be interesting if I could figure that out. You need a player who's willing to put his foot in a breakup play at the halfway line. Yeah, literally that. Yeah, literally that I was saying earlier. And I think, unfortunately, the time has passed for them to buy somebody to do that. So the best option in the team is probably Endo. It really can't hurt. It really can't hurt to just give it a try at this point. But will he try it now? I've noticed that Slot is a lot less into taking risks in terms of players that he doesn't like, and he's a lot less into youth players. I think if you still had Klopp, players like Rio and Gamora would get more game time. And apparently also, what's his name? Curtis Jones has apparently fallen out with Slot as well, which is the latest rumor. That's why he was rumored to be joining an Italian team in the January window, and he didn't. So apparently Curtis Jones also got beef with Slot. I do find this whole notion kind of funny, because people were saying Klopp is all about hugs, and we need a hard man manager who's gonna be hard and tell the players, set the players straight, and not give hugs. And it's like, look where that's got you. I always say, like, management in any organization, whether it's a football team or whatever, is different to how it was 20, 30 years ago. Now things are less authoritarian. It's more treating people like equals to a certain degree, and being more supportive. And so I think that was Klopp's strength. And that's probably one of Slot's weaknesses. You miss Luis Diaz. I miss Luis Diaz. I don't miss that one. I don't know who that is, but I don't miss that person, whoever that is. All the midfielders just want to run up the pitch and score. I think that is part of the problem. We just need somebody who is happy to sit back. They do this dynamic thing where, like, if McAllister's running up, then Gravenberch will sit back. Whereas if Gravenberch is setting up, then McAllister will sit back. But I just feel like you need a specialist. This Liverpool team has always worked well when it had a specialist defensive midfielder, whether it was Fabinho, whether it was Endo, whether it was Jordan Henderson, and if you want to go even further back, whether it was Mascherano, whether it was Sissoko, whether it was Xabi Alonso. I think it needs a specialist, 100%. Yeah, I miss Diaz. I mean, to be honest with you, I wasn't too fussed that Diaz was getting sold because of the whole contract situation, but like, I was unhappy that they failed to bring in a replacement, if that makes sense. Mane was amazing. Mane, definitely the best left winger Liverpool have had in recent times. Diaz was good, but he was not Mane level. Gakpo is to Robben as Diet Coke is to Pepsi Max. That's a good good way of thinking about it. Pepsi Max is Pepsi Max is good. Pepsi Max, it's very hard to tell that you're drinking Pepsi Max, whereas Diet Coke, you know you're drinking Diet Coke. You know that don't taste right. Wirtz and Ekatike. I like Wirtz, but like sometimes he just tries to do too much. Like he'll get the ball, edge of the box, inside the box, and insist on dribbling past every single player. And it's like, bro, it's fine. Just chill a bit. It's more nurture than nature, far more humanist. Gravenberch, we're shooting from range, man. We're shooting from range and it's 28 minutes. Stefan says, Charlotte, are you a chatbot or a human female? Can you confirm for me and also for Stefan? Your friends are spamming you with TikToks. Are there any good ones? Want the joke of the day? We always want the joke of the day. Provided the joke of the day is not Liverpool. But not bad. Went pretty close. That's actually a really good save by the keeper. Gakpo taking a corner, because if there's one thing a extremely tall player is good for, it's taking a corner and not being in the box to make a header. Spurs says Salah and Szoboszlai are the best duo in Liverpool. I do think Szoboszlai is probably player of the season. I appreciate that's not saying much given the season, but I think in this season he's been really good. Yes, so Szoboszlai's free kicks are really good. There was the one against Arsenal, which was amazing, and there was the one against City, which was probably even better. Oh, you haven't checked, fair enough. Stefan disagrees with green kits. No team in green ever wins anything. This could be the bad luck. This could be the reason for the bad luck. They should never use green kits again. Just keep it simple. Red home kit, away kit that can be black or white, and then the third kit, whichever color was not used for the second kit. Keep it simple. I know sometimes they pick yellow, which can be okay, which sometimes can be okay, and sometimes is less okay. But yeah, I'd rather they just kept it simple. Come on, counter-attack now. Counter-attack. Ekatike. Karabag and Marseille. I'll be honest, I don't remember those. I don't remember those games, but I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it that he scored in those. Richarlison or Wirtz? I actually don't mind Richarlison. I think he's a decent player. Of course, naturally, I'm supposed to hate him because he played for Everton. But I'd always be scared of coming up against Richarlison because he'd always somehow score. Ooh, Wirtz just hits the post. Don't know why I've gone so posh, but he's just hit the post. Your finger is still stinging. When did you cut it again? Was it like recently? Was it in the last hour, or has it been longer than that? Liverpool's away kit is yellow or white, or a combination. This year's away kit is kind of a combination. It's a crew, which is kind of a creamy kind of white color. Ball on the right. Jesus. See, now Gravenberch is very high up. McAllister is very high up. I just know the ball's not gonna go in. James says Wirtz is a bit fairy-footed. I'm sure he'll love that. But we mustn't forget how young he is. That is very true. He's 22 and a half, I think, because I think I googled it the other day. So he's 22 and a half. And I think Liverpool signed him just after he turned 22, which is very, very, very young. Also, the rotating double pivot will always leave gaps when they rotate, as both temporarily will be out of position. And yes, we have seen the downside of that. I just think they need to switch things up and show a bit more variability, and show a bit more unpredictability. I don't mind them doing the same thing over and over and over again if they're actually winning games, but crucially, they're not really winning or performing all that well. I think Wirtz hitting the post today is probably the best chance overall. Verco or Alisson this season? I'd go for Alisson, but I'm biased, which is natural. You cut your finger around 2 p.m. and it's still stinging. Oh, have you got like a plaster you could put on it, or maybe run it under cold water or something? That should help. Fish says, how's McAllister? McAllister is Fish's favourite player of all the players. He absolutely loves McAllister. At least I like that there. Robertson took a quick free kick, and then Liverpool get a corner. See, that's what you need. That's what you need a bit more of. That's what you need a bit more of. Quick free kick. Catch the opposition sleeping. But I think it's gone out for a corner. Isabel says, a little problem is the fact that every team knows how to stop win against us. Low block counter. You are right. That is the blueprint. It feels like this blueprint was established maybe a couple of months back, and since then every team has tried to replicate that blueprint, and many have replicated it successfully. What irritates me a bit is if other teams are following a blueprint, then we should change something to then counter their counter, but we just never do. We just stubbornly say, this is the way we play. Oh, Gakpo's cutting inside because of course he is. No, he was just doing that there. But we don't react to the fact that that's what every team does, which is part of my reason why I was thinking maybe a dedicated defensive midfielder would help. Because if you have a dedicated defensive midfielder who is willing to stay back, then that negates the effectiveness of a counter attack because there's an extra guy back there. So I'd like to see something like that. Tottenham says, what would you rate Salah as in overall, or just this season? Wirtz header, ooh, goes close. Can I guess your age? 44. I'm not 44. No. That's actually pretty. How old am I? I don't know how old I am, But no, I'm not 44. I'm younger than that. Grace does not like plasters. Me too. I've never been a plaster guy. Fish does not like McAllister. Yous are all over them. Indeed, we are. We are badgering. We are badgering at the goal. I hope something comes of this. Again, not to be a killjoy, but I have seen sometimes we'll be all over teams. We'll be knocking on the door, and then nothing happens. So I hope we can use this to our advantage and get a goal at the very least. Wirtz has probably gone closest. There was the one opportunity where he hit the post, and there was another opportunity where he had a header. So he's looking like the danger man. Chicken Wing knows that this shirt is not genuine. It's like it didn't even ask. Did you get it from? Did you get it from JD Sports, or did you get it from Amazon, or did you get it from the Liverpool? So he just knows. He just knows automatically. Yeah, I will. I'd have to log in, but yeah, I will forward you that link. They've got Man United stuff as well. They've got everything on there. A goal before halftime would be fantastic, and just before halftime would be even better. Rank these fullbacks for iconic moments. Risa Robertson. I don't know who that third person is, or Connor Bradley. I'd go Risa. John Honor Risa for the number one iconic moment when he took that free kick and he broke Alan Smith's leg. That's number one. Robertson, number two iconic moment for when he was pressing against Man City. I think he was running. He was pressing for about a minute. That would be number two. I don't know who the third person is there, but Connor Bradley fourth for the goal he scored against Chelsea. 100%. Lala says, this is what happens to Liverpool every time when we lose again. Unfortunately, you may be correct. I have seen this story play out before. I have seen the, knocking on the door, knocking, and then nothing happens. But let's see. Endo with a terrible cross there. That was a really bad cross by Endo. Grace says Liverpool don't need caffeine. They wake up after. They do. Well, they wake up when they're behind. When suddenly they panic and they think, oh my god, we're gonna lose the game. When they're ahead, they'll be asleep, and when they're drawing, they'll be asleep. But when they're behind, then they suddenly wake up. Fish says check Gornik. What about them specifically in terms of how they're on the table? Currently, are we playing good? Yeah, it is good. I'm being a bit of a killjoy. I'm being a bit of a negative Nancy, but it's better. Liverpool are on top. We just want to see some output against it. I don't know why he plays Gakpo. Unfortunately, they what's the word? They backed themselves into a corner, I think, because they sold Diaz, but they didn't replace Diaz. So the only real senior option for the left wing is Gakpo, which is really bad because other teams always know it's always gonna be Cody Gakpo. It's always gonna be Gakpo who cuts inside onto the right foot, which is kind of annoying. Every team will have always played low blocks against the champions. Gerard said Liverpool team will come up against these. Yeah, that's true. It is Slot's job to break them down. And you would have hoped, if you look at if you were to look at the general theme, of the transfer activity in the summer, I would say that was the problem they were trying to solve. That would be the problem they were. Give me a second. Yeah, so if you look at the general theme of the transfers in the summer, they signed Ekitike, they signed Alexander Isak, they signed Wirtz, they signed Frimpong, they signed Kirkes. I'd say those are all players that are designed to break down a low block. So I give them credit to a certain degree for identifying that was a problem, but unfortunately their implementation of that has been lacking, and that's putting it nicely. Neymar or Ekitike? You'd have to go for Neymar, but Ekitike is still very young. Who knows how his football career will play out? Messi or Ronaldo? Both, but if you push me, I'd go for Messi. What's your second favourite team in the Premier League? I don't have a second favourite team, to be honest. I'm happy to say Spurs, given your username, but I'd be lying. We should have kept Diaz. The Diaz situation was a weird one because he only had 1 year left on his contract, and if they would have kept him one more year, you'd have to lose him on a free this year. So I think that was the risk that they were trying to avoid. Because if you keep him one more year, then he's going to go for free. So I understand why they sold him, but equally I feel like if you are selling Diaz, replace him. Buy somebody new to replace him. But they didn't, which is a bit of a worry. Fish wants to know how his team is doing. I've still got your thing up that you made me Google. Your team, you won 2-1 a week or two ago, and you are gonna play Slovan Bratislava at a future date. But that date is not yet confirmed. So that is the latest update. Letting Diaz go was mad, says Romez. I understand why they let him go. Because if you think about it, he had only 1 year left on the deal, so they had to probably cash in. I think what was mad was letting him go and not replacing him. I would have been fine with, say, letting Diaz go and get in another left winger, whoever. I think that would have made sense. What is insane is letting Diaz go and then only really having Gakpo as a left wing option. But I understand. I understand where you're coming from. Liverpool don't do boring. They do emotional damage. Unfortunately, they do emotional damage to their own fans. Spurs says, why did Diaz go to Munich? Probably to win a couple of easy trophies. Ekitike has been good, but similar to how Firmino played, he hasn't made great box runs today. Couple near post crosses where Ekitike was nowhere near. I'm weirdly. This is gonna sound so bad. I was gonna say I'm weirdly glad, but that's the wrong terminology. I just got very irritated last week when Jamie Carragher was saying Ekitike was better than Fernando Torres, and suddenly because Ekitike scored a few goals, Carragher said he's better than Fernando Torres. Gabi Agbonlahor, the other clown idiot, said he's the best striker in the league. I just find that insane. Don't tell me this is a penalty. Do not tell me this is a penalty. This better not be a penalty. It didn't look like a penalty. I'm hoping. Yeah, I think it's been waved off. But it's just funny. It's just funny, isn't it? I think you're right. I think Ekitike is good, but it really irritates me whenever a player has a couple of good games. Suddenly they're the best thing since sliced bread. Suddenly they are the reincarnation of whoever. Ekitike better than Fernando Torres. Ekitike best striker in the league. I don't know who was sillier, whether it was Jamie Carragher or Gabi Agbonlahor. To be honest, probably Gabi Agbonlahor. If any sentence ever involves Gabi Agbonlahor, he's going to be the sillier one in that sentence. But yeah, it's just all these kind of so-called professional outfits saying things purely for clickbait. Ekitike has been decent today, but yeah, he's also a very young player. I think he's about 22, 23, so I think he's still got a lot of kind of development to do. As I said, it just irritates me when a player has a couple of good games and suddenly they're the best. It's almost as if, let's say, Endo playing as a makeshift right back has a couple of good games, and then suddenly Endo's the best right back. It's just kind of insane, to be honest with you. But it is half time. Liverpool, as predicted, banged on the door a lot and didn't have much to show I mean, this is so accurate. Watching that first half with Gakpo in this team is tipping me over the edge. Not just you tipping me over the edge as well. I mean, if we're both tipping over the edge, then one of us will probably land on the other. So one of us will survive. I just don't know who. It depends who goes over the edge second. But I agree. He's just so kind of uninspiring. Whenever that guy gets the ball, you know he's going to cut inside, whack it over the bar. Cut inside, whack it over the bar. Even if the ball's on the left. Cut inside, whack it over. There's just no unpredictability. And if I know what he's going to do, me as a kind of uneducated clown, if I know what he's going to do, the professionals on the pitch definitely know what he's going to do. I liked the balance. I liked the balance that we had last year, where sometimes you had Luis Diaz, who was a kind of tricky type of winger, traditional type of winger, whereas sometimes you had Gakpo, who was inside forward, so there was a degree of variability. Now there's no variability. Now it's always Gakpo cutting inside, or like you said, smack it on the first defender. It literally feels like Gakpo is aiming for body parts of that first defender. Like, I think he's thinking in his head, if I curl it this way, I can maybe smack the guy's right arse cheek. That's legitimately what it feels like. SB says Gakpo's been amazing. I normally hate him, but this has been his best half. I'm with the first half. I'm continuing to hate on him. I can't lie. I've got to be honest. Gakpo's gone in the summer, says Mr. Default. I mean, I hope so. It would require somebody to pay money for him, which may be difficult. Maybe we can, I don't know, offer some sort of package deal. I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure we offer like biscuits in the canteen. Can we say, look, if you buy a pack of digestives, you can get Cody Gakpo for free? That's probably the only way we can ship this guy out. YOLO says, anyone else agree Endo has been surprisingly amazing at right back? I think he's played well, and my personal feeling on this is Endo is what this team needs. And I know he's playing right back today, but I think Endo is what this team needs in midfield. We need somebody who's willing to sit back and not run forward, willing to protect the defense and willing to stay back and counter-attack. I think Endo is what this team needs. Gak post or slab head up top. Slab head every single time. I don't know if it's just indicative of me as a person that I have to have some sort of villain every year, but Gakpo's my villain this year. I can't lie. Yeah, I'd rather have Nunes at left wing. The thing is with Nunes, I appreciate technically not all there. Mentally, definitely not all there. But at least he had pace. I think pace is an important attribute for a winger. And he definitely had unpredictability because his brain didn't work. And I think those are valuable qualities for a winger. So I'd agree. I'd agree with you. And that's another point. I think that you've also mentioned last year. It wasn't just Diaz and Gakpo. Sometimes Nunes played on the left as well, which increased the variability there. Yeah, that's a fair point. Could always ship him off to Saudi. Hopefully. Speaking of Saudi, apparently Nunes is leaving Al Hilal and is going to Turkey, which is probably a bit early because I think his hairline's still pretty good, but always helps to form contacts early. He was actually pretty good, but his finishing let him down. Is that Gakpo? Fish, are you trolling Fish? Leipzig 6, Bayern 0. That can't be right. That cannot be right. Stefan wants to know if Charlotte will marry him, whereas Charlotte responds to his Liverpool's unsung hero. Probably Stefan, to be honest. I actually agree with this. I can't lie. I actually agree with this. I don't think this is all that controversial. And I was secretly thinking this the other day. So I'm really glad that YOLO has said the same thing. I would also play Endo over McAllister. I love McAllister, but I feel like McAllister and Wirtz are a bit too similar. And additionally, if you extend beyond that, Gravenberch is not too dissimilar either. So I just feel like McAllister and Wirtz in particular very similar, whereas Endo is a very different profile. So I agree with you there. I agree with you. You don't know pain until you watch Garnacho start for your club for 18 months. I mean, Gakpo has had 6 months, so we're starting to understand the pain. Yeah, I'd take Garnacho over Gakpo as well. Would you take? Who's that? I don't know who that is. Trent? I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Is he like is he a left winger or? I'm not too sure who that is. But I hope that answers the question. SB says, I think this has been our best half of football that we played. But yes. You are correct. It's encouraging. Things are better. We're showing a bit more energy, a bit more enthusiasm, a bit more vigor, but still gonna lose. This has 70th minute Sunderland goal written all over it, which then shell shocks the players, who then absolutely brick it and then lose. You are right, to be honest, about the creativity that we've missed from losing Trent. You would have hoped Wirtz could have made that up. I think that's maybe what they were thinking, but I think you're right. Alan says this Leipzig is 0-0. That makes sense because Fish was saying it was 6-0, which did not make sense. Yeah, I should really stop the timer because I'm going to confuse people. $45. There we go. Fantastic. Endo is 100% better than McAllister defensively, as McAllister loves going up and we need someone to stay back. I agree. What I don't like is sometimes McAllister goes up and Gravenberch sits back. Sometimes Gravenberch goes up and McAllister sits back. But sometimes both of them go up and you've got nobody back and then you can get countered. I think maybe you need more set roles in the team. I think Liverpool have always done well when there has been a dedicated defensive midfielder. So Fabinho, dedicated defensive midfielder, you won trophies. Jordan Henderson, dedicated defensive midfielder, won the Champions League. Xabi Alonso, dedicated defensive midfielder, won the Champions League. I just think I think there's value in having a dedicated player. Fizz says, what does that stand for? I mean, I think I know what that stands for, but I don't know what the K is for. I mean, even Zaim agrees with Endo. So I think we're onto something with this. I 100% think we're onto something with this. We just need that player to sit back, to shield the defense, and provide a bit more cover, because I think crucially as well, Liverpool are conceding a lot of silly goals, and I think this would help maybe reduce the number of silly goals. And even if it doesn't work, even if it doesn't work, for argument's sake, you can at least have a level of confidence that, you know what, at least we tried something a bit different. And if it didn't work, fair enough, we'll find something else. But what irritates me is that things don't work and we very rarely change it. It's just very irritating. Mr. Default said that's a statement. Oh shit, did I say something crazy? Was it the Endo thing, or was it something else? SB says Gakpo on the counter-attack has been absolutely no threat or decision-making ability. They should put that on his CV. I think Gakpo should have to create a CV for his next job, whichever team it is, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Leyton Orient. And sometimes you have to put like a 2-liner at the top of your CV to sum up your ability. That's what he should write. Gakpo on the counter-attack has absolutely no threat or decision-making ability. Put that on the top of his CV. He probably wouldn't get a job, but at least it would be accurate. Liverpool are not a football club; they're a travelling circus, and the defense are the head class. I mean, the defense and the midfield, and the attack and the manager. To be honest, Jake doesn't think we've started too bad. Both wingers are getting on my nerves. The irritating thing is, with respect to wingers, there's no pace. I think if you're going to play wingers, they need to be kind of fast-ish. And let's be honest, Gakpo's not fast. Salah used to be fast, but we perhaps cannot be too harsh on him because of his age. But if you take that out of it, I think generally speaking, if you're going to play wingers, you need a bit of pace. Our wingers do not have pace. So by the time our wingers get their Zimmer frames out and get the ball up the pitch, guess what? All the opposition have got all their players back. So by the time our wingers get back, when the winger is not up against 2-3 players, the winger is up against 11 players. So you're right. We need a bit of pace. Tom says, if Slot will be sacked for a new manager, I will be happy. I will also be happy. To be honest with you, I think it's probably something that's going to happen in the summer. I love how salty Liverpool fans are over the most creative right back in the world leaving. Has Frimpong left? I thought Frimpong was just injured. I didn't know he'd left in January. Think our issues up top purely come from our wide players. I think they're a big part of it. I do think they're a big part of it. And I think if you have a bit more pace as well, I think it would help Ekatike as well. There's just no pace. It's so annoying. Like, I know they sold Diaz, who was very pacey, and I know that they sold Nunes, who was very pacey, and I do think they've replaced them with better players, but there's no pace in the team now. it's clear to see. Gag post. Oh right, Gag post over Garnacho. No, I said Garnacho over Gag post. I would take you and your asthma over Gakpost. I've turned into Gakpo number one hater. Yeah, he's a waste of time. He can't create anything other than a impending heart attack for me and everybody who watches him. Jake says having 3 goal scorers up top rather than one who can dominate 1v1 is a recipe for disaster indeed, and we are seeing the impact of that. Yeah, who is this guy called Trent? I'm not familiar. Is he like based near the River Trent? I believe there's a river in England called the River Trent. He might be based around there. Jackson says we're playing good, but Gakpo is wasting chances. That is Cody Gakpo summed up. I'm putting Endo at right back was a mistake. Unfortunately, we are very short on options. With Frimpong out, which is maybe your first choice. With Bradley out, which is maybe your second choice. With Szoboszlai out, maybe your third choice. We're down to 4th choice in Endo. And apparently, Curtis Jones, who was another potential option for the right back slot, apparently he's fallen out with the manager. They've got beef now. So that's our life right now. Gakpo does the same thing game after game, just dribbles, cuts inside, and then shoots, and then either smacks it over the bar or smacks it into the left ass cheek of the defender who's kind of twisting around. Same thing happens every single time. We've been poor, says Abdul. I think we've been trying. I think we've been trying. We've been kind of knocking on the door, but unfortunately unable to get in through the door. Okay. The River Trent is in Nottingham. Well, that's maybe where this mystical player is from. Rashid says Slot needs to give up with Gakpo. Are they dating or something? I mean, they've got to be. There has to be something going on here. I think in 20 years, there might be a release of the Slot files, and you'll see his relationship with Gakpo will be detailed in there, because something's not quite right. Just the thing is, right, if you had Klopp, he would at least give Rio a chance. He'd at least give the youth a chance. he'd at least give the young guy a chance. They made this big deal in the summer about, hey, we don't want to block Rio's pathway. We want to give him a pathway into the first team. How is Rio gonna ever progress to the first team if you never play him? Fish, I have absolutely no idea what that is. Is that Russian or potentially Ukrainian? Or potentially something else? Second half has started. I'll set the timer in a bit when I can be bothered. Gakpo has had so many poor performances, yet still plays him. I honestly don't get it. I don't get it either. It's just a tendency to repeatedly persist with something which clearly is not working. I just don't get it. I would maybe play Rio. The annoying thing is, we all know what Gakpo is going to do. So if we know what Gakpo is going to do, then the professionals on the pitch will also know what Gakpo is going to do. It's just pure insanity. Change it up. If it's working, no problem. But if it's not working, change it up. Zaim says, I think with how Slot wants to play long term, would have wanted to see Endo and Grav, Jones, Wirtz, Szoboszlai with fullbacks providing width. 5 midfielders in the middle is what 4-3-3 did to 4-4-2. Possibly. It just seems like Slot has beef with certain players and loves certain players. He's a bit of a bad teacher in that sense. You know how they say teachers should treat everybody equally, but realistically speaking, it's obvious the teacher likes some people and doesn't like other people. I think if Slot is the teacher, then he doesn't like Endo, he doesn't like Chiesa, but he absolutely loves Gakpo. Sunderland with a chance here, but I'm hoping we defend this. Oh, that's encouraging. Grace says Liverpool's finishing is so bad that even I could have scored. Yeah, that's when you know things are bad. And I genuinely feel like I could run faster than Gakpo, even though I probably couldn't. But that's just how slow he looks to me. Rashid says, yes, agreed. They got rid of Diaz to give Rio game time, but they never gave the guy game time. It's crazy. It is insane. We do not want to block the pathway of this amazing youngster that we have stolen from Chelsea. But guess what? We're going to block the pathway ourselves. We're just going to block it. We're going to put a 6'4" Dutch statue on the pathway and block it that way. I just got home from work. Have you had any chances yet in the first half? As in the second half. Second half just kicked off. It's been mostly Sunderland. But let's hope that rectifies itself soon, because we don't want mostly Sunderland. But let me set the timer. 50. There we go. What has Salad and Gakpo offered up to now? I mean, if they were to offer Salad, that would at least be something. I mean, speaking of Salad, Gakpo is playing like he has recently cut some onions because his eyes are not working. I mean, that's probably the closest link I could find. But generally speaking, not much. Sunderland have started the second half a lot better, which is not what we want to see. I mean, you're right. Kwanzaa had one bad half in the first game of the season and was unsanctimoniously hooked off at half time, which number one is going to be quite embarrassing for him, which number two is going to hurt his confidence. And that's not what you want to do to a young player. Ooh, Sunderland go close. Whereas Gakpo is just doing absolutely nothing, game after game after game after game, and his position is completely safe. I just don't get it. I don't generally like comparing managers, but I feel like if you had if you had Klopp as an example, Klopp would be making more use of the youth. As you saw, with the Klopp's kids final versus Chelsea, Klopp would at least give the youngsters a chance. There's no point. There's no point having these youngsters if you just don't play them. Where's all the Trey Neone hype gone? Where's all the Rio and Gamoa hype gone? That's another thing that irritates me. And if you lose with the youngsters, fine, it's no problem because you're losing with the seniors anyway. Grace says, I support Liverpool. That explains why I'm comfortable with this appointment. You could be right. I'm comfortable with this appointment because I see Cody Gakpo lining up for my team on a daily basis. Millie says, you want to play with youngsters? It's an option. It's an option. I just think they need to try something a bit different. Ooh, Ekatike just smacked the goalkeeper in the face. Please don't give him a booking for that. Will City catch up, you think? I think so. City do this every year where maybe they don't start the fastest, maybe they don't start the season the fastest, but eventually something triggers in the head, and when that thing triggers in the head, they then go on a run, and when they go on that run, they absolutely decimate everybody in their path. They're like a bulldozer, or they're like a bull being let out of the pen and just headbutting everybody. They do this. It's just history repeating itself. The thing is as well, they know, unfortunately, they know from a club perspective how to win, what it takes. So it wouldn't surprise me. Like if you said to me today, guess who's going to win the league, and if you get it right, you get £1 million, I'd probably still go for City. What team do you support? Wearing it's probably not obvious, but I'm supporting the underdogs in today's game. So I'm not a Sunderland fan. I did get a treat for doing my running. I did fruit pastels, very nice. Have you got a favorite fruit pastel? I gotta say the green ones are pretty good, and the red ones are pretty good. The yellow ones I'm not a huge fan of, but the red and the green, they are definitely up there. Which is interesting because those are Liverpool's home and third kits. Always says, who would you replace Slot with? I would say I would literally replace him with you, Always. Even if you have no experience, I'd be willing to replace him with you. That's the level, and that's what I've been reduced to. I think you'd have a couple of good ideas, and I certainly think you would get a good tune out of these players. Now, we could have a situation whereby your wage expectations are a bit too high, so Liverpool might not be able to afford you. If Liverpool cannot afford you, then I'd maybe be looking at Xabi Alonso, because he's got the connection with Liverpool. And he would know how to get the best out of Wirtz and Frimpong, who used to manage at Leverkusen. Siraj says, how long you been a Liverpool fan for? About 31 years, I'd say. Maybe I mean, I first became a Liverpool fan in year 2 in school, because I still remember the classroom, which is about 30 years ago. Always says, Cuzzy, one bag a week and I'm happy. I mean, I'd say at the very least, let's give you Gakpo's wages, because let's be honest, Gakpo's not earning his wages, so let's give you Gakpo's wages. Oh, you like the orange fruit pastels? They're alright. I gotta say, my favorites of any sweets are the red ones or the green ones. Ball's gone out. I'm just a bit worried that Liverpool might have. I don't want to say have blown their load. That's probably the wrong language, but might have thrown all the punches they could throw in the first half. In these first 10 minutes, there's been a lot less energy. But let's see what happens. After PSV's aim wanted slot out, that was my first maybe not eureka moment. That was my first moment where I felt like, okay, maybe we need to make a change, because I think in that week, I think there was a 3-0 loss to somebody, and there was the 3-0 loss to Man City away, and then it culminated in that 4-1 loss at home to PSV. So that was also my first time I was like, okay, maybe we need to make a change. Then cooled off and wanted to reassess after this season. But with top 4 in jeopardy and others dropping points, anything less than 3 points is a sackable offence. As in for this game? Would you? So if he was to get a draw or a loss here, would you sack him? Would you just sack him today and be like, thanks but no thanks, goodbye? I think the key part of that is maybe the middle part where you said with top 4 in jeopardy. I mean, I think it's a fair point. You got Chelsea in about there, you got Villa around there, you got United around there. And I'd say out of all of those teams, unfortunately, I feel like Liverpool are playing the worst. Oh, you'd sack him after this game? Fair enough. I don't think that's too ludicrous a suggestion. Is there anybody in particular you'd bring in to replace him? Would you? I mean, I presume you'd go for an interim and then bring in a permanent in the summer. Oh, McAllister just then gives the ball away. McAllister gives the ball away. Sunderland almost score. You have a boo boo. Is that on your finger where you hurt yourself? you want Amarim? I mean, Amarim is probably still enjoying his payout from United. He's probably on a extended holiday at the moment. Oh, there's got to be a goal. Oh, has he hit that over? Even Salah is snatching at shots. Even there was a cut back to. Oh, to be fair, he hit the defender in the head. So there's a cut back from Ekitike to Salah. Salah then left foot smashed the cut back, but into the face of the defender. So it's gone out for a corner. Stefan says, slot out J.K. Rowling in. She can maybe call her mate Harry to use his wizardry. Number 1 to get rid of Gakpo, but then number 2 to help Liverpool. That's just I should probably stop hating on Gakpo. But a wizard would always be beneficial. It's a corner. Kanate just arguing with the. Crossed in. Oh, it's gone in. What the hell? Has that gone in? What the hell happened there? It kind of... Van Dijk goal? YOLO says 1-0. Yes, goal. 1-0 Liverpool. Liverpool. Oh, Mukiele on goal. We'll take that. That's alright, Brody. All good. Liverpool is actually kind of funny, I can't lie. I'm just... so yeah, it came off Van Dijk. And then Mukiele kind of headed it into his own goal. We'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take that. Yardi says 1-0. I'd be interested to know if that's given as a Van Dijk goal or a Mukiele own goal, but we'll take it. We'll take it either way. Oh fuck! Almost just put the thing on. But yeah, we'll take that. Now what I want to see is do not sit back. Do not sit back and try and protect a 1-0 goal, because yeah, did you hear that when I pressed the wrong when I pressed the wrong button? I do not want this team to sit back. Go for a second goal now. You're good. You're good enough to get a second goal, 100%. I got a notification that it was an own goal, but another as Van Dijk. Okay, fair enough. I hope Van Dijk gets it. But Endo's gone down. Because if you're a right back and you play for Liverpool, then the gods have forsaken you, and you're going to get injured. Oh my God, Liverpool are down to... It's Endo's coming off. So Liverpool are down to a 5th choice right back. Frimpong out. Conor Bradley out. Szoboszlai out. Endo out. Now Joe Gomez is coming on. Well, there's something that will fill a team with confidence. And when I say a team, I mean Sunderland. That right back position is cursed. I don't like the ball bouncing in the box. Clear it. I don't like the ball bouncing. Clear the ball. Whatever happened to player managers? Do you remember them? Dalglish was one. Yeah, it seems to be more a remnant of the past. Yeah, I guess you don't really see them so much these days. Imagine turning up at the touchline with a suit on, but underneath your suit you've got a full football kit, so you can just take your suit off like you're Superman. I guess it would be like that, but yeah, you don't really see it so much these days. I think there were a couple of more back in the 90s. Used to have was not Gianfranco Zola, but I'm pretty sure Chelsea had one as well back in the day. But yeah, don't really see it so much. Yeah, Endo's coming off because the right back position is absolutely cursed. I mean, it's only funny, right? I mean, you can only laugh. I mean, not you can only laugh. You can laugh or cry, but laughing is always better. That was it. Ruud Gullit, yes. The Dutch maestro. Who could you envisage the next player manager? James Milner. James Milner has player manager written all over him. He could be 75 years old with a pension and he'd still run faster than half the professionals today. I think it's just got James Milner written all over it, I think. I'll take Joe Gomez at right back. Why not? To be fair, he's decent. He's actually decent at right back, and he's actually decent at left back. Oh my God, they're bringing the stretcher out for Endo. Is it that serious? They're bringing a stretcher out. At this point, Liverpool's playing guess who at fullback. I mean, you're right. It's somebody new every single week. And it's interesting that it's always the right back position. This must be pretty serious. That has to be pretty damning for Endo, because he's just got his opportunity after failing to get his opportunity game after game after game. You finally get an opportunity, and now the stretcher comes out. Unfortunate. Milner's a good one. Granit Xhaka, okay. I can see that happening as well. Gianluca Vialli, that could be the one I was thinking of. Yeah, it does seem to be a more of a remnant of the 90s. I wonder why that is. Is it because the physical demands of football these days, with respect to the amount of running that you have to do, with respect to the amount of games that you have to play, maybe the physical demands of the job now are in excess of what they were? I was going to say 10 years ago. How long ago was the 90s? 30 years ago. Maybe the physical demands to be a footballer now are in excess of what they were 30 years ago, which makes dovetailing two jobs a lot harder. That could be a reason. I'd just be guessing though. But Endo's being stretched off. I hope he's alright. Yeah, Grace is right. Liverpool's team sheet is right back to be determined. I mean, I eventually I think they're gonna have to start just picking people out of the crowd. Anybody who looks pretty quick, get him a shirt and stick him in at right back. Oh my God, this is proper serious, because they're really. I mean, Endo's stretcher looks like a sarcophagus, because it's that. It looks like one of those things that Egyptian mummies come in. So it must be pretty serious, because it's a pretty sturdy type of stretcher they're taking him off on. I mean, I don't think you need that many people to lift Endo, but it's probably for safety reasons. I mean, there's one at each corner. And I guess they don't want to drop him. He's got his shirt over his eyes. This looks very serious. Joe Gomez is coming on. He's going to tell them to keep the stretcher warm for when he needs it in about 5 minutes. So I hope at the very least we have 2 stretchers. But yeah, there'll be quite a few minutes of injury time. Oh yeah, Calvin Ramsey. Yeah, the weird thing is about Calvin Ramsey, of the 5 minutes I've seen of him here and there, and of the 7 minutes I've seen of him there, and of the 5 minutes there, he looks great. I think he's great. Calvin Ramsey's great. I mean, number one, they disrespected him by making him give his shirt to Ekitike. I don't know if that's common knowledge, but Calvin Ramsey was number 22. And then they say, hey, we bought this French lad, give him your shirt. So that's a bit disrespectful. So you have to give his shirt number up. But outside of that, when he plays, I thought he was pretty good. I thought the guy's pretty good. He's got a nice cross on him. He's a good size for right back. He's pretty fast, technically decent, good passer. He just, unfortunately, Slot does not seem to like young players unless you were a very expensive young player. Generally speaking, if you're under 25, you don't get played unless you had a heavy price tag. That's what it feels like. At least the Bosley's coming back this weekend. That is a good point, and at least he'll be rested as well. So missed this game today, so he should be a bit more rested, which is always helpful. Managers have, all that media stuff, which irritates some managers. I think is irritating Amorim, and it's with the additional obligations that come with the manager role these days. I think unfortunately makes being a player manager all the more difficult. Nayab says, what you gonna say about Liverpool lost to City? Ekatike, it's it over. I mean, what more can you say? From what I remember, City dominated the first half. Liverpool were the better team in the second half, and then they scored with the Szoboszlai free kick. But I just felt like after they scored with the Szoboszlai free kick, then they decided to change what they were doing. Then they decided to be a lot more defensive. And whenever Liverpool sit back, they always concede because they are not particularly well organised. So it was a naive performance. That is what I would say. Kenny says, what do you think about our current performance so far? I'd say the first half was very good. It was Liverpool knocking on the door. Constantly knocking on the door. But they did not score. Whereas in the second half, Liverpool were not as good, but Liverpool scored, which is weird. So in the half where they were really good, they did not score. But in the second half where they were less good, they have scored. I'd say it's an improvement. The key thing for me is don't fucking concede. That they almost conceded there. The key thing for me is when they go ahead. Oh, Jesus Christ, they've almost... Stefan doesn't like me blaspheming. Sunderland almost scored there. But the key thing for me is when Liverpool are on top, please stay on top. Go for the second goal, go for the third goal, go for the fourth goal. Do not sit back. I think to be successful sitting back, you need to be organised and well drilled. And these are individuals who are not organised or well drilled. Grace says, do my jokes land or should I stick to watching games? No, bring the jokes. Bring the jokes and also bring whatever makes you happy. But I like the jokes, to be fair. For once, we can't say the joke is Liverpool. I think they've played better today. Kenny agrees. We look back to our normal styles the first half, but a little unorganised at the moment. As always, after we score, it's almost as if after we score, we just get a bit anxious. It's like after we score, anxiety sets in, and we're like, "Oh my god, oh my!" It's like we've been given we've been given an explosive. We're like, "Oh my god, what do we do with this? I need to throw it away." It's quite bizarre, and I think maybe the reason for that is a lack of confidence. But I would hope get a goal and then try and get a second goal. Because if you get a goal and sit back, as we've seen time and time again, we are not particularly good at sitting back. There will be gaps, there will be lapses in concentration, and then we will concede. But so far, we're on 74 minutes. I think there will be a fair amount of injury time, but my prediction before the game was 1-1, but I hope that's wrong. I hope we can keep this at a 1-0. Stefan says, 39th goal of this season. That is insane. And they beat Leipzig 2-0. That is wild. Ekatike just hits it a bit too far. Like I know and I appreciate the German league is not as strong as the Premier League, but still 39 goals is nothing to sniff at, especially in February before Valentine's Day. Oh, Curtis Jones is coming on for Gakpo. Oh my god, he's actually taking Gakpo off. What has happened? I never thought I'd see the day. It's because it's raining and he doesn't want Gakpo's hair to get ruined. That's probably why he's coming off. Curtis Jones has a mop on his head so he can soak up all the rain. It makes sense now. Sunderland haven't lost at home this season either. Breaking that could give the players some confidence. I think that's a very good point. A lot of the pre-match was Sunderland are unbeaten at home. It's going to be tough for Liverpool. So you'd hope getting a good result here should give the team a bit more confidence for the fixtures to come. Robertson's hurt himself now. I hope that's not serious. He's still on the floor, but I hope he should be able to get up. Didn't know about the shirt number thing. Yeah, it's wild. So Calvin Ramsey was number 22. And then Ekatike got it. And now I think Ramsey's 47 now. It's just that kind of thing irritates me a bit. I can't lie. Kind of thing irritates me a bit. Also, Slot has said discouraging things about. See, that I don't like. That I don't like. This kind of thing they should not be saying in public, especially about their own team. I mean, how would if Ramsey said nasty things about Slot in public, it would be a national emergency. So why can a manager do that about players? But if you look at when we played Phillips and Williams versus Hendo and Fabinho at centre back, yeah, I've blocked that season out. I've blocked that season out of my mind. The 25 different centre back partnerships. But yeah, I know Slot is a bit more blunt and he's a different personality to what we've had recently, but shouldn't be saying nasty things about Ramsey. HSFT says, "Wow, that is the reaction I go for in general." So I appreciate that. Grace is correct. Liverpool's game plan: score once, retreat, enjoy the chaos, and whatever happens, happens. It's score once, and I'd say score once and hang on for dear life. That is, that's the way I see it. Hang on and score once and then hope for the best. But hoping for the best has not got us particularly far. Here, at least, they still seem to be kind of attacking-ish. So where Jones has come on the left wing. Okay, this is a weird formation. I can't quite tell what this formation is. It's like Salah is playing as a midfielder, as a central midfielder. Oh, but counter-attack opportunity. Ekatike, get back on side. What? You're so offside. What are you doing? Header goes wide. Very, very kind of naff header that was. Yeah, you can't head the ball. Was it against Man City? Was it against Man City where I think it was a vert cross? And it was just like a naff, low energy type of header with no real power on it. Same thing happened again. That is something he needs to work on. Again, somebody should show this to Gabby Agbonloho, who called Ekatike the best striker in the league. That kind of stuff irritates me. Is that Gertruda coming on? We could do with him. I know that whole thing kind of fell through, but we could. I mean, we could have done with him, given that Endo's probably out for a while now. But yeah, just hitting 80 minutes. But I think there'll be a fair amount of injury time because Endo was down for what felt like an eternity. But speaking of right backs, Gertruda's on. He's in the wrong shirt. He should be wearing the other shirt today. But you know what Liverpool are like? Leaving things to the very last minute. And unfortunately, he's still a Sunderland player. These missed headers make me miss Jota even more. Such a potent finisher. Yes, very surprisingly good on the air. He could get a lot of power. He didn't have the biggest head, but he could get a lot of power on it. and not just power. It'd also be direction. A deceptively and surprisingly good kind of header of the ball. I think Ekitike's headers just feel a bit kind of flimsy in comparison. But I would hope it's something he can kind of work on and improve. Just put 30, 50 crosses into him twice a week, 3 times a week, and see if he improves that way. But yeah, Jota was very good in the air, and also very good one-on-ones, as you mentioned. Isabel says, in your opinion, is it a full English fry up without black pudding? I'll be honest, I've actually never had it. I'm quite picky with my food. Is it made from blood? Made from blood or something? I'm quite a picky eater, I'd say. I've never been much of a fry up breakfast type of guy. I'm more of a light breakfast. I have sometimes made a burger for breakfast, but that's because I'm having lunch early. But yeah, I've never been a massive breakfast type of guy. Blood and oats and fat. Yeah, it seems seems full of nutritious goodness, but apparently it does have some nutritional value to it, and I know lots of people actually quite enjoy it. I'd have to go with whatever you think on that. I'd have to follow your recommendation, I think. Yeah, I've heard it's kind of full of nutrients and that sort of thing. It's probably a good part of breakfast. So it's good to get a bit of iron, and I guess with the other parts of the fry up, so you've probably got a bit of bread, so you got your carbs. There'd probably be meat, I guess, so a bit of protein there. Fat as well, I guess fat from everything. So there's probably value to it. Stefan says slot out Charlotte in. Or slot out Stefan in. I'd take anybody over slot currently. Grace says you like mint tea, but that's like drinking toothpaste. No thanks. I should clarify. The mint tea that I told you I was drinking yesterday, you can get mint tea bags, but those are not as good. Oh, don't score. Crisis averted. I just get mint leaves. So you can get a pack of mint leaves for the supermarket for say 50p, which is literally the fresh mint leaves. So I just tear off the leaves, put them in a cup with hot water, and it's really nice. And if you do it with fresh mint, the way I do, it's quite sweet. So it kind of tastes sugary. I'd say you have to try it. You'd have to try it. I had it in a cafe and it cost me £3, and then I looked at what the barista was doing, and I was thinking, hold on, I could just make that at home myself, and I did, and it tastes exactly the same. So yeah, mint tea, but with fresh mint. Don't get the tea bags. Not as good. Try it, and it'll change your life. It is exceptionally high in protein, iron, zinc, and magnesium, all very vital minerals. While sometimes labeled as a superfood due to its nutrient profile, it's also high in fat, calories, and salt. So it has superfood aspects. I guess the salt is quite good as well, provided you have the water. Would give you the electrolytes, but yeah, I guess the fat and the calories are the other downside. But yeah, I've never been a massive breakfast person. See, Liverpool sitting back now. I don't like this. Don't like this. Didn't like this or approve of this. Liverpool are sitting back. Liverpool are inviting pressure. This has a late Sunderland goal written all over it. And remember, if Liverpool do not get 3 points, Zaim said he's going to be slot out. Why are they sitting back? They're putting crosses in now. Alisson's being tested. Alisson was tested a few minutes ago, and now they've put a cross in, and Alisson had to catch the cross. Why do we have to always create a nervy finish? Why does it have to be anxiety? Why does this always happen? And now Liverpool lose the ball again, and now Sunderland are going for another attack. Why do they always do this? Can we not just continue attacking for another 5 minutes and then we're done? Somebody's coming on. Oh, for God's sake, Chiesa's coming on. But what's Chiesa supposed to do in 5 minutes? It absolutely drives me up the wall. They do this game after game after game, and it never works. But instead of changing the thing that doesn't work, they just do the same thing and hope they get different results. Grace says, can you say hi to my mom? Hi, Grace's mom. Hope you are good. Hope you're doing well. I was going to say on this fine Wednesday, but it's pretty terrible weather. But I hope you are doing good. Someone who's not doing good is Curtis Jones, who has just squandered the opportunity. Stefan says, getting a 3 meter long phone charging cable has changed my life. I'm not surprised. So your phone cable is taller than you, and also taller than me, and also taller than everybody in existence. I mean, that is a pretty amazing phone cable. I think my internet wire, I do have like I think my internet wire that I'm using for this might be 2 meters. I'm not sure I have a 3 meter. But that's what they're there for. Is that Joe Gomez? Is that Joe Gomez running up the wing? Liverpool's still giving it a go. Grace says, Mom told me to tell you she's just finished work from 6:45 till 9:30. Wow. Is that 3 hours or is that 15 hours, if that makes sense? It's probably 3. But yeah, no, that's a pretty late finish. It's a good thing that it's finished, so you can now relax a bit. I finished at 5 o'clock today. So I started at 9? Yeah, I started at 9 till 5, literally today. Yesterday I finished a bit earlier because I couldn't be bothered. but today I finished on time. Oh my God, Joe Gomez is in the middle of the pitch. What is going on? Zaim says, as Liverpool quote heroes, not for footballing reasons, Chiesa or Maxi Rodriguez, leaning towards Chiesa for his iconic song. Yeah, I think Chiesa had more of the kind of is more of a cult hero. Rodriguez had decent output from what I remember. He was never amazing, but he did have decent output. He did put a decent run of games together. So I'd say from a cult hero perspective, I'd definitely be leaning towards Chiesa. Top of that list though would probably be Igor Biscan for me, given that he was absolutely useless but performed very well in the Champions League. Damn, 15-hour shift. That is crazy. That is insane. That is impressive though. It is impressive nonetheless. My energy levels at work tend to start depleting by lunchtime. But quite often that's because of what I eat at lunch. So I might need to change my diet. But yeah, no, 15 hours is impressive. It's most of the day. Charlotte says shirt looks glowing and neat. I mean, you might be accurate. I am worried it is glowing slightly given the shade of the yellow. Yeah, this shirt definitely looks better on camera than it does in real life. Oh, 7 minutes of injury time. Sunderland asking for a penalty, but it's been waved away. All good. All good. It's been waved away. So we should just have 5 minutes. 5 minutes away from actually winning a game of football. Shock, horror. I can't believe it either. Sunderland making another sub. I mean, Sunderland are going for it at the very least. Try a cross where it goes out. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes for 3 points. Would not mind 3 points. I don't mean to be a killjoy, but it is 3 points from an own goal. But maybe that's been a bit too negative. She's doing it again on Saturday, same hours. What you have to do to pay the bills. That is crazy. It's crazy, but it is impressive. That is a impressive level of work ethic. My concentration tends to deplete after about the 3, maybe 4 hour mark. Okay, Liverpool with plenty of players forward. And Manure drew also. Indeed, they did with a last-minute goal from Sesko versus West Ham. We are right behind them. Yes, we are right on their coattails. I just need this team, and I feel like everybody just needs this team to get a bit of confidence and put a run together. Granted, they are not going to win the league. They're not going to retain their trophy, but they should still be able to put a run together with a bit of consistency. I think looking at the next fixtures as well, they should be pretty straightforward. Oh, Salah's through. We almost scored again. Almost had a second own goal. But hopefully they can just hold on here. And then start winning a couple of games. What other Liverpool cult heroes are there? Not sure. Origi qualifies as he had a bigger impact to be a cult hero. Another one, maybe Jimmy Traore. The term cult hero for me probably differs for most people. I almost feel like cult hero is somebody who... This is going to sound really bad, but was generally considered not to be a particularly good player, but had some good moments. TT Kamara, do you remember TT Kamara? He could maybe be a cult hero. Emil Heskey is probably better than a cult hero. Aurelio, maybe. Thinking of other left backs, John Arisa, no. Nat Phillips, I think Nat Phillips has got to be a cult hero, surely, for what he did in that season. She had to go back to work at 4 because someone calls in sick. She wasn't happy. That's understandable. I also would not be happy. Especially at 4 o'clock when you're kind of winding down for the day. You're kind of done for the day. Then I have to go back into work. That is not what anybody wants. Okay, about a minute left. Robertson, still with a lot of energy. Jones, Salah, take a shot. Ooh, just wide. But I'm glad he took it. I'm glad he took it first time, rather than pausing, thinking about the meaning of life, and then wasting the opportunity. Nat Phillips, the Cruyff turn on Ibrahimovic, yeah. I think in terms of recent times, Nat Phillips definitely a cult hero. Reece Williams is probably pushing it, but I think Nat Phillips would be a cult hero. Maybe Lucas Leiva back in the day, but I don't know. I don't know if that would be pushing it. Quartered bicycle kick. I almost feel like he wasn't there for long enough to be given that title. Neil Mellor. Do you remember Neil Mellor? Number 33, who scored that amazing goal versus Arsenal, that amazing volley. I almost feel like Neil Mellor, maybe a bit of cult hero. I don't know how on earth I just remembered Neil Mellor. But we've hit 97 minutes and the thing says 7 minutes of injury time. So can they just give us our 3 points, please? Thank you very much. It's full time. Liverpool have won a game. Slot survives. As Sean says, decent win. Could have played better, but the main thing is the 3 points. It is. I was getting a bit worried when it got to 85 minutes and suddenly Liverpool was sitting back and suddenly they were very, very deep. And I was thinking, oh God, here it goes again. Liverpool get a bit scared, start sitting back, and we're going to concede a 90-minute goal. So, yeah. Could have been better, but I'll take it. Hopefully, a win against the team who had been unbeaten at home all season should hopefully give them a bit of confidence and a bit of self-belief to go on from there. Yeah, Neil Mellor, definitely cult hero. I think he's the dictionary definition of that. Yeah, I was going to say, Slot passed Zame's test, which was Slot had to get 3 points today, not 1 point. He had to get 3 points to stay in a job, which he's done, which is good for him. Grace says, "Yay, we won for a change. Yeah, for a change. That is indicative of the season, isn't it? For a change, we won a game of football. It's a nice change. It's a change. It's a change I'm happy with. But yeah, no, that's good. We'll take that. That's 3 points now. Still within the kind of top 4 race. So obviously we want better than that, but being realistic, that's probably the best we can hope for. I think maybe get rid of Slot end of the season. I think it would shake us up more if we got rid of him now. I think they'll wait to the end of the season. The executives and the kind of management structure in charge of Liverpool strike me as people who make long-term decisions. This is our guy. We give him the whole season. If it doesn't work, we then find a new guy. They don't seem like people who make short-term decisions or get an interim in. I think they will reevaluate at the end of the season. Grace has to go. Good night. Take care, Grace. I'll probably go myself in 2 minutes. I didn't realize it was 10:15, but it is 10:15. Get Gakpo on bench. Is that a bench that is on a bus? Like get him on a bench that's at a bus stop so that he can then get on a bus and then leave permanently. That is the bench that I want him to get on. Thank you very much. Grace says, is Saturday your last live for 3 weeks? It will be. Saturday will be the last live for 3 weeks because I am going to Japan on Monday. And then when am I back? I don't mean to make things worse, but it's probably the last one for a month because when I'm back, there will then not be a game for a week. So it's probably for a month-ish. But you know where to find me. I'll still have access to YouTube on my phone. Isabel says, we are only 3 points behind the Manx. I like it. That's much better. And there's a lot of there's a lot of games to go. So I think they're just showing the stats on the screen. Liverpool had 23 shots to 11. Liverpool's expected goals were 2 versus 0.66. So it's a good performance. Sean says, I love Gakpo, but he's not good enough. I don't think he's ever been good enough. He's had enough chances. I think that's fair. When Liverpool signed him, I was excited. I think he's been decent, but I don't think he's been as good this season as far as last season. And also, sometimes you can make the argument that a player has not been given the chance, but I think you're right to say Gakpo's been given consistent runs in the team because there's nobody else. So, yeah, I think might be time for him to move on next year. Finley says, thank you so much for beating them Macam Rats. You are welcome. We did let you down earlier in the season. I think we might have drew earlier in the season, so we are merely repaying the favour to our Newcastle friends that we failed to do earlier in the season. Stefan says, slot out Theresa May in. What is she doing these days? I mean Theresa May can probably play, I would say, could probably play left wing for Liverpool, but I can't remember if politically she was left or right. That's a pun that I probably didn't mean. But I mean, I'd say let's get Theresa May on the pitch. She's probably show a lot more energy than some people, but generally speaking, today's performance was better. I think that's indicative of the result. So yeah, things should be hopefully a lot better now. Fingers crossed. Doesn't count. Take remove the points. It was a decent performance. It was a decent performance. Very good in the first half. Less good in the second half. Scored from an own goal, but I'll take it. It's better than what we've had recently. Still not happy about the double over us. You've got understandable. Understandable. What I will say is I feel like a lot of people were overreacting after the Newcastle win. Gabby Agbonlahor said Ekitike is the best striker in the league. Jamie Carragher said Ekitike is better than Torres. I think people probably needed to chill a bit after that Newcastle game, but yeah, it's better. It's better. I'm still not super excited, but it's better. As George says, it was a grinded performance. They grinded it out like with a little pestle and mortar. They were grinding a performance out, and they managed to grind out one goal. I think it's a fair description. Knocks Chelsea down to 5th. Damn. I think that, if we knock them down one more place, they might sack Liam Rosenior, because that seems to be their favorite thing to do, sacking managers. It's gonna be a tight race. How many games are we on? Like 25, 26? So if we're on 25, 26, there's still a good 40-ish points to go. So fair amount to go. Sunderland's first loss at home this season is correct. A lot of the pre-match was saying, in the pre-match build-up, in news articles and things, they were saying Sunderland are unbeaten at home, so it's good to give them their first loss. Esport Gamer says, yo, bro, it's me. I changed my profile picture. No worries. What is your new profile picture? It's hard for me to see. But I hope you are good. Hope you are happy with the result. Hugo is definitely a top striker. He is a top striker. It just irritated me a bit that I felt like... I understand the kind of purpose of Sky Sports and Talk Sport and all of these is to say reactionary things to generate clicks. But I just saw it as a negative in the sense that I felt like it was putting unfair pressure on Ekatike to declare, in a professional capacity, to declare he's the best striker in the league. He's better than Torres. I like Ekatike, but I felt like it was putting unfair pressure on him, which I didn't like. It's a Reaper. Very nice. Finley says, he scored 2 goals, fair enough. He's a class striker. But yeah, they were just taking it too far. And the reason I don't like that is number one, it puts unfair expectation on a player. And number two, they then tear the guy down a month later when it doesn't work out. Oh, we're 5th. Okay, fair enough. I'll take that. Beats is an improvement. Isabel is off. I'll see you Saturday. Take care, Isabel. Enjoy your Thursday and Friday. I only say his first name because I can't spell his last name. Yeah. EKITE. But that would be a guess, and that's probably wrong. I don't know what we'll do with Isak whenever he's back, because Ekatike is doing so well. I can't lie, I'm so excited for Isak. Out of all the summer signings, Wirtz, Ekatike, Isak was the one that I was most excited about. So it's just irritated me a bit that he's got injured. But I don't know what they'll do either, to be honest. But I'm excited to see how it works out. I'm curious, but you're right in the sense that Ekatike has been playing so well and Isak was so expensive. You almost can't bench either of them. So I don't know what they'll do. I have no clue. Rate these players: Voltemade, Gyökeres, Sesko, Hugo, Pedro. Hugo 1, Pedro 2, Sesko, Voltemade, Gyökeres probably. So happy Ramsey is picking up form, one of my favorite players, so happy for him. Yeah, he's starting to find his place and pick up form, which is always an encouraging thing. For me, it's Ekatike, Sesko, Voltemade, Pedro, Gyökeres. Sean says Hugo, Gyökeres, Pedro, Sesko, Voltemade. It's interesting that we've all got generally different answers, but we all put Hugo number 1. Which is fair enough. They're all pretty good, to be fair. Finley does what I do with Trent, so I don't say Trent's name, but Finley just asterisk out the A. Isak will barely play now since Ekatike is on such good form. Ekatike is vital to use. He's made himself vital. I feel like when the transfers were made, I almost felt like Isak was coming in as the starting striker and Ekatike was coming in as the Jota replacement because Jota passed away, so they needed a kind of replacement on the bench as a kind of squad team player. But the way kind of Ekatike has been playing, he has kind of forced himself into the thinking, so I'll be curious to see what happens. I almost feel like you can't bench either of them. But I can't lie, I have a feeling he'll bench Ekatike. I just got a feeling, because that's what he was doing before. But you never know. Voltamade is absolutely awful. Genuinely would rather play a toddler. Wissa is equally as bad. The weird thing is, like, Voltamade, they actually started really good. I don't feel like he actually started really good. He was scoring all these goals to the point where I was a bit jealous. But things have kind of gone south for him ever since he scored that own goal, I think. Stefan says, how can I survive 3 weeks with no live stream? There is one more on Saturday. One more on Saturday, and then I'm catching a flight on Monday. It's like a prison sentence. 10 days max holiday in the future, please. Yeah, I do generally do 10 days, but I figured since Japan is so far away, I'll make it a bit longer. But yeah, like, I'll still have my phone. I'll still have my phone. So like, if you're ever bored, or if you ever want to take the piss out of anybody, just leave a comment and I will endeavor to respond. Yakuras is so bad, it's crazy. Portuguese league is a fraud. I mean, I'm scarred from the Nunes transfer. That's still scarred me. Woodsy says, terrible team, won't win out for years now. I mean, this season very unlikely to win anything. In the summer, if they make a managerial change, it might be better. It might be better next year, but who knows? When Isak is fit, yeah, I've got a feeling Hugo, unfortunately, might get benched. I think it depends on the manager. If Slot's in, Ekatike will play. If Slot goes, Isak will play. I want somebody, whether it's Alonso, whether it's anybody, to find a formation that suits them both. I think that would be ideal. The other weird thing is, like, Salah is not particularly fast anymore, and Gakpo's never been fast. I hope he was fast so that he could run to the job center and leave my team. But Gakpo's never been fast. So I think another option is you could play Isak and Ekatike up top and maybe do, I don't want to say an Amorim style, but maybe do 3 at the back and have the pace from Kerkez and the pace from Frimpong running up and down. I don't know if that's a thing. That's something that could work. Voltamade lost all his confidence. He's still finding his feet, but he's not good enough. It's a bit of a shame. Because I feel like he started very well, but it's not going quite as well as it was at the very beginning. Do you think we'll make top 4 at the end of the season? It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough. If I had to guess, like, if you force me to guess, I'd say top 4, no. Top 5, yes. I think Liverpool might finish 5th, but things can change. Things can change very, very, very suddenly. Right now, I think they'd probably get 5th, not 4th, but who knows? Job Center Plus. Here we go. Yeah, we see if Gakpo can find his way there. Slot is an Amorim wannabe. I mean, definitely not from a follicle perspective. I mean, if we're talking from a follicle perspective, he's a complete opposite end of the scale. I didn't know he was that young, to be fair. I didn't know he was that young. I thought he was a bit older. Maybe it's the moustache and the facial hair. I thought he was a bit older than that. He was also a complete panic buy, and you can tell the player we're seeing now isn't the one we signed. I found like Wissa was a bit of a panic buy in terms of they wanted like an Isak-ish type of player, Isak-ish, Isak light. But to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if you also make a managerial change in the summer, because Eddie Howe not having the best time. Who's top 4? I mean, let's look at the table quickly. In terms of, I know you were asking who's top 4 end of the season. What's this league called? Premier League table. Oh. I mean, Arsenal definitely getting top 4. City definitely getting top 4. I think the others are variable. it's almost oh shit, I should move this a bit more central, right? There you go. It's almost tough to accurately make a prediction now. Because United had those 4 wins, and you were starting to think, okay, they're picking up a bit of form, but then they faltered against West Ham. Whereas Liverpool is the opposite. They had a couple of bad performances, and now they've put in a good one. I mean, who knows, to be honest. Whatever I say is going to be completely wrong, to be honest. So confused as to why Voltamade is getting hate. I think it could be because he's not performing as well as he was earlier. Don't think the signing... I think we ended up panicking because of how late we left it. True. Eddie Howe is he going to stay in a job? Where are you at the moment? 4th. Damn, I'm not too happy about that. You're ahead of the Maccombs. You're 10th, just above. Ahead on goal difference, but ahead is ahead. Thought you went 5th after that Sunderland game. Oh my God, we're still 6th. I mean, what helps Liverpool is they have a couple of easy fixtures coming up. So in theory, that should be a positive, but you never know if these teams sit back. Arsenal gonna bottle it, says Ryan. Wouldn't surprise me. The thing is with City, they know maybe they don't turn it on from the first game, but after Christmas and after New Year, they just go into another gear, and they suddenly turn into this super team where they just destroy everybody in their path. If I had to guess I'd find it difficult to kind of guess top 4, but if I was to guess who's going to win the league, I'd still go for City. Sean says, be interesting to see if or how 4-3-1-2 would work with Wirtz, Isak and Ekitike. Yeah, I'd like to see something like that, something a bit more imaginative, instead of just sticking to 4-2-3-1 or sticking to 4-3-3 and therefore sticking Ekitike out wide left. I'd like to see something a bit more creative. That's what they get paid these ludicrous sums for. We're gonna win the league. Unfortunately, it's probably City. Such a bad season in general. Yeah, it's been bad from my perspective. It's been especially compared to last year. It's bad from a results perspective, and I know like a lot of people care about the results, and of course I care about the results as well. But it's not just the results. Even watching it is like boring as hell. Like that's why we end up talking about food and other things, because Liverpool are just passing it sideways, and there's only so long you can watch that for. It's funny if Arsenal win the league because it'll go down as the worst Prem in history. I still think City. I still think City are winning it. Liverpool going to turn into a super team after Slot gets sacked. I can see that happening, because I think the players that they have, if you just write all the players down on a piece of paper, I think they're really good players. Even the kind of quote unquote not world class players, like your Frimpongs, your Kirkeses, I still think those players are very good as well. It just needs the right manager. Yeah, I think we're all supporting City. I mean purely because if City wins, it doesn't matter, because nobody really supports City, so you don't really feel it. Whereas people support Arsenal, people support Liverpool, people support United, people support Chelsea. So if those teams win, you're going to have to put up with the grief from somebody that you know. Whereas if City wins, it's like, who cares? Don't matter. Nobody supports City. Thought Konate played very well today. Konate was better today. I think his last few games, the City game was a bit wobbly for everyone, but Was it the Newcastle game where he scored a goal? I thought he was quite good in that game as well. I wonder what's going to happen with his contract situation. Frimpong and Kirkes are being used so wrong. Yeah, and like, I'd even put another 7 so's on there and be like, so wrong. Certainly, in the early part of the season, they would have Kirkes inverting into the middle. So as it diagonally come into the middle of the park, which I absolutely detested. Because I always felt like Kirkes' strengths were staying out wide, running up and down, putting all his youthful energy to use, running all over the place and then whipping across him. Whereas Slot turned him into this kind of inverted, underlapping fullback, which I just thought was wild. Didn't like that at all. I must say, never been a Brentford, Bournemouth or Brighton fan. Yeah, if you begin with B, the letter B, then Finley does not like you. Frimpong gonna turn into prime door. Yeah, stick him up front, score a few goals. He has been pretty good the last few games. Let's hope it continues. Yeah, see you Saturday, Sean. Take care. I better go to sleep because I've got early start tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to. But yeah, I'll be back on Saturday where I was going to say where Liverpool will probably lose to Brighton, but I should be a bit more positive. Where Liverpool will hopefully get some sort of meaningful result. But anyway, I better go because it's past my bedtime. See you in a few weeks. I'm busy Saturday. Enjoy Saturday. I will try my best. Should be good. I appreciate that. But yeah, take care, guys. Enjoy your weekends and all that. And yeah, let's see how it goes on the weekend. But anyway, I am off. Take care.